I want to thank Community Channel, my sub, for bringing this to my attention. This is Young Turks who laugh at a man being raped by a woman. And then these people have the balls to talk about Jimmy Dore harassing Ana Kasparian, right? Now, this is the advantage of being a part of a collective, because when Community mentioned this to me, I said, well, I'm not sure if it's worth covering. And Mr. Pink and Yellow said, no, it's worth covering. So let's hear what they have to say.
A small town in Russia has this little hair salon, right?
Holy shit, 2009. No wonder Anna looks like a kid.
Go again with the Russians.
I know. I love the Russians. Best story.
Okay, I don't know this story. What happens?
No, it's
a cauliflower grew out of somebody's ear. Somebody jumped off a 10-story building. Somebody ran.
So some woman raped a guy, and she's Russian, so therefore she loves the Russians, right?
Into a house with a tank.
Oh, you read the story already?
Okay, whatever.
Let me tell you the story. A robber comes into a hair salon and, has a gun and he, tells them, give me your money. I want everything that you guys have. And he tries to leave, right?
Right.
So all the hairdressers give them, give him their money.
That makes sense.
And then the owner of the hair salon or whatever, Olga, comes out and she's like, oh, you want my money, right? She's like about to hand over the money and she kicks him. And he falls to the ground, right? And then I guess she beats him up and ties him up. And
look at the smile on her face the whole time. She's loving this.
Puts him in the back room. This woman rapes him for 3 days straight.
What? This story just took a turn I did not expect.
Best story of the week.
Okay. Oh, wow. They're very, very happy about this. This is great news. Some guy got raped. So now you understand that this concern over rape has nothing to do with the crime itself. It's all about demonizing men. If a man did even bothers a woman, they get upset. So now let's just compare how upset that they get over the fact that Jimmy Dore supposedly said something to Ana Kasparian.
Jimmy Dore used to work here. It's a decision I deeply regret. We try to expand the spectrum of what is acceptable thought. And so corporate media.
Yeah, so him making a joke about Ana Kasparian at her expense, that is a deep concern. But a 3-day rape, that's a laugh to you losers.
Media has it easy. They just have to ask, do you believe in the status quo? And people answer that not explicitly, but implicitly through their answers, and then they get hired that way. We hire a wider range of folks, and sometimes it goes wrong. And Jimmy's one of those examples. So
Jimmy was a guy who didn't know his place, right? You hired him thinking he was going to know his place, keep his eyes down, and he made a joke, a harmless joke over your goddess, Ana Kasparian, right? But anyway, let's get more of how they're laughing their asses off at a man being tortured.
Hold up. First of all, Olga kicks the shit out of him.
Kicks the shit out of him.
Okay.
Apparently she has like a high level of karate training.
Hit him in the crotch, so she doesn't need to know any karate training.
High level of karate training.
I don't know exactly what that means.
Okay.
But she's experiencing karate.
Do we have a picture of her?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, no, you're kidding me.
I don't know why they blurred out her face.
There's...
Oh, looks like a decent looking woman. In other words, she could get a boyfriend in a heartbeat. So this is completely unnecessary.
She's actually hot.
I think she is.
Uh-oh.
But listen. No. She rapes him for 3 days straight, okay? What she does is she feeds him Viagra, so he gets hard.
Oh, this is perfect. So it shows you that guys can be raped. You know that we have all these losers that say guys can't be raped. Obviously, they can. And also, Mr. Pink and Yellow, I want to give him credit, pointed out again, women will argue that if they get sexually excited, that's still rape. that's still saying no means no. And notice that disappears when the guy is getting raped.
This woman is unbelievable.
She is. Okay. And also,
She's unbelievable. That's not the same as saying she's a scumbag or a criminal or a psychopath.
she handcuffs him. She finally handcuffs him, right? Because he was tied up at first. She handcuffs him with pink, fluffy handcuffs.
Now, do we know
Okay, she's into the bondage, which I have nothing against. But what it is, she wants the real deal. You know how they talk about the internet and having the dark web and their snuff films that can never be found? But that's to demonize men. Here's the real deal. This woman found a victim. She said, I want the real deal.
the guy objected?
He did. She finally, eventually let him go, right?
Uh-huh.
And he goes straight to the hospital, where
He went to the hospital.
Wow. So during those 3 days, this guy held up a bunch of customers. So when she put him in the back, the customers kept coming and never asked ever again? Or did they ask and find out that he was still back there and they just said, good on him. He deserves to be punished because he tried to take $5 out of my purse. Or what is it the Russians do? The ruble? Rupee?
I mean, she went to work on his ass.
He
Russian hairdressers ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, see, she went to work on his ass. Look at the big smile. See, this is a joke to these monsters.
Hey, here comes Olga off the top rope. Okay.
He goes to the hospital and they tell him, your genitals are severely injured.
Hey, this reminds me, guys, when these women, I won't just say feminists, women in general, they hear guys talking, joking about stuff like this, just not about the opposite. They want other men to attack those men and say, hey, stop this. You can't laugh about women suffering. And yet here these two assholes are doing it.
Give him treatment.
Your genitals are severely. By the way, we shouldn't be laughing about this. I denounce and reject Olga, okay?
No, you don't. You don't reject her. You support her. Your laughter supports her. You're in on it. You guys have been praising this psychopath, this criminal, the whole time.
No, man, I don't care. This
And
is
his genitals were hurt, right? So, not only sexual assault, but torture and physical abuse. That's okay with these assholes.
a funny story.
Okay, man rape is not allowed.
No,
okay.
it's not. It's not. And I mean, you know
Yes,
how
it
people,
is. Yes, it is. It happens all the time in prison. And by your reaction to this, that proves you want it that way. Rape is not the serious crime they make it out to be. Well, it is a serious crime. It is a serious crime, but it's not really serious to them. What's serious to them is which sex is getting attacked.
people say that men can't get raped, yada, yada,
Right.
yada. This man got raped. She was feeding him Viagra, okay? to
That's
get him
true.
hard.
I mean, that's the one situation, I suppose, where.
Okay, so this is 2009, right? So 15 years ago, right? And so you still hear people denying that men can get raped 15 years after this.
It could be,
Yes.
involuntary
Yes.
for a guy.
The balls on this girl, though, is what I find funny, because she has some balls on her, okay?
Well, she's got balls. Wow. Wow. See, they don't condone this, but they really admire this woman. She's got some balls, right? So a guy who grabbed the woman and raped her, I guess he has for 3 days and tortured her. He must have balls too, right?
So then what happens is, after he goes to the hospital, he goes straight to the police. He turns her in, right? When he turns her in, this is what she says. What a bastard. Yes, we had sex a couple times, but I bought him new jeans, gave him food, and gave him 1,000 rubles, which is $30. 30 US.
There you go. Geez, so this woman made the exact same argument that feminists claim men make.
Rubles? Oh, my parents say rublies, so.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
the Armenian way of saying it.
So yeah, how funny is that? So now, the robber guy, Victor, that's his name, is facing prison time for robbery, and the woman is convicted of rape.
I mean, there's so many twists and turns to the story.
Right.
Okay, the first twist that we have to talk about that we haven't addressed yet, which is when you've got the robber, which hairdresser lady thinks, hey, you know what? I'll show him. I'll rape him.
No. She wasn't punishing him because he committed a crime. She punished him because she wanted to punish him. The crime was neither here nor there to her. She had pink, fluffy handcuffs. She was into this. What is that? Here, let me bring this up. Remember the gimp scene in Pulp Fiction? You know, the guy showed up and they were fist fighting. The guy didn't knock them out and tie them up because they were causing a brawl. He was sexually turned on by torturing men, and that's exactly what happened here, right? But this is a fictional story, and the other one's real life. And in this fictional story, what happened? They got revenge on this guy who did this to them. They shot his balls off, right? So this woman who's actually committed the same crime, all she does is get some jail time.
Like, how does that even occur to someone, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
Like, how does that show him? I mean, she seems to be fairly attractive. I mean, her face is blurred, but I would think that that might be, like, a good thing, not a bad thing, right? That Olga's going to work on your ass.
It doesn't sound like it was a good thing. It
So,
just-
oh, I see. So if she's a good-looking woman, then it's all right to get tortured, right?
genitals were severely injured.
Well, that's a different situation, right? I don't know how severely injured they were. I don't know what she did.
How is it a different situation? You know, no means no. It doesn't matter that that the woman's good looking or that she gave him money or anything. None of that matters.
Guy, right? But apparently they functioned enough for 3 days, right? So how does she think that? But then she feels kind of bad and buys him a pair of jeans.
Right.
She's
Right.
like,
She doesn't feel bad for it. See, this is what they're doing. They're doing exactly, they're the rape apologist that they claim men are.
I make up for it. And then twist number 3 is a guy actually goes in to the cops and he's like, hey, look, I was trying to rob this place. I'll be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then
There's
this,
no twist here. There's no twist.
hot woman raped me.
For
I'm
3
surprised she
days.
didn't get beat down in Russia for that kind of complaint.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay, so you see that. No, maybe I better play the whole thing.
Going back to the Hulk Hogan story, we don't think deep enough. She
No,
took
I'm not going to listen to that. Don't care what he has to say. So we'll see what right here. I'll get to you where, yeah, we'll get into where they bring up Jimmy Dore defending himself.
Here, let's begin.
But here's how she's trying to threaten me. And I'll tell you why this is a big mistake on her part. She says, I'm sure you remember when you constantly made inappropriate comments about how sexy you found me at work and even felt the need
Oh,
to
I
ask
see. So they're laughing their ass off at a guy getting raped for 3 days, but Jimmy Dore just making comments. That's beyond the pale.
me where I shop for my jeans so you can buy a pair for your wife so she dresses better.
Thank you.
That was followed by an apology card you wrote me for the degrading harassment. I've been holding back, letting you run your mouth nonstop as if you're some sort of warrior for what's good in the world. That's
Yeah, so you can see what this is about. This N-word doesn't know his place. That's what it is. So that's what they're getting so upset about. And yet, anything that's really important, where are we here? That's a joke. So it's all about demonizing men. Anyone who joins the Young Turks, Young Turks, any man, what he is he's a slave who better know his place. And, you know, if he gets raped, there's just going to be jokes about it. But you better not make comments to the uber humans here. So thank you again, community, for pointing this video out. Thank you.